Welcome and greetings, everyone. Thanks for coming together to share in our weekly Freeing the Spirit experience. This week we are touching on loss, grief, and taking care. As I sat down to reflect on today's time together, I realized that we are approaching the beginning of our 8th month on this journey of this pandemic. And so, though we often talk about all of the things that can lift our spirits, the things that can nourish us, we must acknowledge the reasons why we need to take care in that way. And this past 7 months has been a time of great loss, and with that comes grief and the need to take care even more so. Whether you're feeling the loss of a loved one, or you're feeling the loss of lifestyle or routine, or you're feeling the loss of connection to people and relationships, those losses compound in a time like this. We don't know how long we are on this journey for, this pandemic journey. And so we continue to look for ways to meet the challenges we face. And so in that, I thought we would explore this need we all have in common to acknowledge loss and the grief that can come with losses, big and small, just the same. I'd like to open with reading lyrics from a song. It goes like this. Reborn and shivering, spat out on a new terrain, unsure, unconvincing, this faint and shaky hour. Day one, start over again, step one, I'm barely making sense. For now, I'm faking it until I'm pseudo-making it. From scratch, begin again, but this time, I as I and not as we. Gun-shy and quivering, timid without a hand, fain brave with steel intent, little and hardly here. Day one, start over again, step one, with not much making sense. Just yet I'm faking it until I'm pseudo-making it. From scratch begin again, but this time I as I and not as we. Eyes wet toward. That song goes on, and we'll listen to it in a moment, but there for me is a deep sadness in that song. It could be interpreted as a story of loss of a loved one, either someone who has passed away or someone who has left the writer's life. The writer tells a story of starting over again. I as I and not as we. She goes on to say again, I and as I and not as we, eyes wet toward. In this lyric, we might hear the common human struggle of loss, where a deep change has occurred in our life and our eyes are wet with tears. These are common experiences. And then the singer, the writer says, I'm barely making sense. I'm faking it until I'm pseudo-making it. And this is something we can all experience, that feeling of isolation, like we just can't do it. Like we've lost our confidence. This is common when we feel a deep sadness or loss. We lose a bit of our sense of self and our compass, our bearings. Who are we to be strong enough when we feel that way? Who are we to be able to find our way out? This common human experience is also part of loss and grief. This experience can also, though, be the beginning of an emergence, overcoming resilience. When we feel isolated in loss and grief, we can turn inward to look at that sadness, to feel that sadness. And when we feel it with a compassion for ourselves, when we offer ourselves kindness not because we need the sadness to go away, but simply because we are sad. We don't tend to a wound because it will immediately go away. We tend to it because it hurts. And in doing this and turning towards ourselves in this way, this is how we can begin to heal. The singer goes on to sing, starting over again, step one, step one. And so this too is where we begin, with step one, this single moment now. A breath. Just one breath. We offer some compassion to ourselves. And if we are able, we take one more step. And we rest when we need to. This is self-kindness in pursuit of healing. This is the way we must all do it. We must turn towards what we need to heal so that we can learn about ourselves. There is indeed a deep sadness in this song, but I hear it too as a song of hope and a song of strength and of resilience. So I'd like to listen and watch together. This is Not As We by Alanis Morissette.
Reborn and shivering, spat out on new terrain, unsure, unconvincing. This faint and shaky hour. Day one, start over again. Step one, I'm barely making sense. For now I'm faking it till I'm pseudo making it from scratch begin again. But this time I and not as we. Gun shy and quivering, timid without a hand, faint brave with steel intent, little and hardly here. Day one, start over again. Step one, with not much making sense just yet. I'm faking it till I'm pseudo making it from scratch begin again. But this time I and not as we. I swear toward again, but this time my eyes are not as sweet.
Our next song is one that our friend and St. Amant music therapist Abby Graff wrote for us back in the spring. She wrote this song as we began this journey together, facing this pandemic and coping together with the losses we had begun to feel. She wrote and recorded this for us, speaking about changes in life and the need to rest. And at the time, it was so true. We were running fast to try and cope and to adjust to changes. And we've since learned that that run, that sprint at the beginning, has since become a well-known marathon for us. It is indeed a long journey, and a journey that we are on together for some time yet, for sure. And so rest is crucial on any journey to continue to know where our next step should be. As Abby sings, "For when rest calls, you should listen, and what it gives, you should take it. For this time is what you make of it. When rest calls, you should listen." This was good advice 7 months ago and remains so today. It's a good advice to take at any time in life, when rest calls, to take time for it. This song is called Renewed Steps by Abby Graff.
Don't stand up too fast now, for rest is a fickle thing. Don't forget to breathe deep into your lungs. Don't let your heart forget to love. For when rest calls, you should listen, and what it gives, you should take it. For this time is what you make of it. When rest calls, you should listen. Don't let go of my hand too quickly. Don't let go of the time we spent together. Don't let your eyes move too fast across the landscape, for it was built for you many years ago. If you have time, you should take it in. And if you have time, you should take it in. For this life is what you make of it. So if you have time, just take it in and breathe. 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 Don't let that little one move. Just wrap them up in a hug now. Just tuck them in sweetly. For when rest calls, you should listen. And what it gives, you should take it. For this time is what you make of it. When rest calls, you should listen. And in time, you will find a return to the fast-paced melodies. But now just let yourself
In times like this, we must take time to reflect. We must remember that we cannot get around our grief. We cannot go over loss or get over loss. We must be with it. We must turn towards it and move through it slowly. And we do this slowly because there is much to learn. We have to pay attention to how it feels so that we can honor it. We can honor the loss and the grief that goes along with it. Last year I was on a meditation retreat, and following my time of meditation, I spent some time reflecting on all the things that had come to me in my week of meditation. I reflected on the losses that I had remembered, the joys I had reminisced about, and the hope that I had nurtured in myself. And after that reflection, I wrote a poem that speaks to that journey of balance, of knowing darkness alongside light, and being patient. This is that poem. It's titled On Becoming a Farmer. I am standing on a hill, under cloud, overlooking the city below. I can feel chaos everywhere. My body hurts and I am sad that I get angry as another storm builds in the distance. Fumbling fingers, my hands winding tightly down deep into my pockets. There, I find a lonely seed left from another life. Grasping at it, I kneel to the ground, scratching the surface with my fist, digging down to form a small cup in the soil. I place the seed with a trembling hand in the trembling earth. I inhale and exhale and close my eyes as the rain begins to cool my neck. When I awake, soaked in yesterday's suffering, I see there a sprout, soft and new, and soon thereafter a flower too, one that I will surely smell. And then my eyes rise and follow the winding stalk as it begins to stand tall for the first time. I touch and admire its tender bark wrapped in careful intention. With a smile arriving at the corners of my mouth, I sit again. But with great wonder now, a crack in the veil above opens, and the sun arrives to visit alongside the rain. I am dry and warm now, renewed, protected by this canopy above which I have grown, with the support of another whose hands rested in these pockets before mine, whose fists worked this soil before me. In this feeling, I do believe, this great being will soon produce a fruit called joy. And so I sit and sit again, watching, listening, curious with awe, inhaling as the night sky falls on this beautiful city below, deep and full, lit by the light of life in a million gentle souls. That poem came to me, as I mentioned, after a long meditation retreat, and I reflect on it regularly to remind myself of both the patience of being present with ourselves and the gift that emerges when we do so. This next song opens with the lines, "Blackbirds singing in the dead of night, take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to arise." Some of you may know this song. It was written by the Beatles. It's been covered by many people. It reminds us that we mustn't hide. In the darkness, the greatest opportunity can arise. From our low points, we too can rise up. We must smile at every opportunity and cry as we need as well. We can't hold grief in, for if we do, we turn our eyes away from our experiences, and we do this perhaps to avoid the sadness that we may encounter. But when we do this and turn away to protect ourselves from that sadness, we can also miss the moments in which a light can emerge or a joy may arise. This turning in towards ourselves in a time of loss is a good thing. As I mentioned earlier, in turning inward to feel a sadness, we can open up to something greater in ourselves. And in this we nurture a cycle of resilience that we didn't know yet was there, and from that, light and hope become. In this we can heal. This is Blackbird.
Blackbird singing in the dead of night, take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life you're only waiting for this moment to arise. Blackbird singing in the dead of night, take these sunken eyes and learn to see. All your life you're only waiting for this moment to be free. Blackbird fly, blackbird fly into the light of a dark black night. Blackbird singing in the dead of night, take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life you're only waiting for this moment to arise. Blackbird fly, blackbird fly into the light of a dark black night.
We'll close shortly with a mindful moment with Kathleen, and we'll follow that with our final song of today's Freeing the Spirit practice. The closing song is an instrumental, and so I invite you, after the mindful moment, to remain settled and just allow the song to arrive and see what it makes you feel as we explore week to week in this circle. Music is a powerful thing, and sometimes it's the lyrics that land in our heart, and sometimes it's the melodies, the combination of notes, the way that an artist has created the piece that we're listening to. And so I invite you to enjoy the final song as an invitation to rest. In that process of meditating on a breath exercise or a song, often our mind can wander. We know this is normal, and so whatever your mind wanders to, allow yourself to be gentle with yourself. If it's joy, savor it. If it's sadness, offer yourself some compassion. Whatever you feel, you might say to yourself silently, this feeling is a part of me. You might say, I am whole because I have this feeling. And you might acknowledge that you are a part of a community in which every person has those same feelings. You might say to yourself as you feel that, may I be peaceful. May I live with some ease. Whatever words you might want to hear for yourself, offer them to yourself as a gesture of kindness and compassion. May you be kind with yourself. May you be gentle with yourself. Remind yourself that you are never in a moment alone. May you take time to rest your heart, tend to your spirit. May you notice the light within you and around you. Be well. Take care. I'll see you next week. Bye for now.
Good afternoon, everyone, and nice to see you all again. I hope you are all continuing to stay safe and stay healthy and taking care of yourselves. So here is your mindful moment for this week. Let's begin by pausing together and take a moment to focus on our breath. Close your eyes if you like. Rest your feet on the floor, your hands in your lap, whatever is most comfortable for you. See if you can notice the natural calm rhythm of your breath. Make no effort to change your breathing in any way. Simply notice how your body breathes. And if your mind wanders, as it will, gently return your awareness from those thoughts back to the rhythm of your breath. Let go of any judgment. Let go of any expectations. Be kind to yourself. Inhale the cool air coming in through your nose. Exhale the warm air through your mouth. And for this moment, just practice focusing on your breath and only the feeling of your breath coming and going naturally. Remember, all there is for this moment is just breathing. Again, let go of any judgment. Let go of any expectations. Just breathe. And take one last deep breath in and deep breath out. And when you're ready, you can slowly and gently open your eyes and come back to this moment. And there is your mindful moment for this week. I hope you have some time to rest for today or tomorrow or this weekend. Just want to say that rest is important, and it helps refuel our body and our minds. So there you have it, and I will see you next week. Bye.